Oh, wait. Did you break that? Yes. We're at Hill Farmstead Brewery in Vermont. It's been voted the best brewery in the world.
I am super happy that Anna was dry and hopping when she made this.
Don't make me laugh and spit this out because it probably stains. It's very deeply blueberry.
Sweetie Weetie.
Yes.
Take two.
Yes, take two.
Here we are at the legendary Hill Farmstead Brewery in Vermont. This is so legendary that Kurt Vonnegut will have his characters crawl out of Slaughterhouse 5 from their zoo in Tralfamador to take a spaceship back here just so that they can come to Vermont, just so that they can come to Hill Farmstead Brewery, the legendary one in Vermont. Insert B-roll here. Note to self, shoot the friggin' B-roll. Shoot the B-roll.
Hey Siri, remind us to get some B-roll at Hill Farmstead.
Okay, I've added it.
There you have it. They have a beautiful lodge over there. There's outdoor seating in all kinds of places everywhere. I'm not even going to do this one. I was really looking forward to it, and you've spoiled it already. So if you go in there, millions of the big, beer making, like, what do you call them? The metal jugs, the giant keggers.
Insert B-roll here. Giant keggers.
The beer tanks.
There.
Okay, I'm trying to speak English here. The beer tanks, that's what you call them. And I'm imagining all these barrels around here being used as tables, or maybe barrels that they have aged some of the beer in. They have a lot of different really interesting kinds of beer. That was one of the Tralfamadorians. This was highly recommended by our friend Randy. He said, you must come here, and here we are.
The legendary Randy Stern, otherwise known as co-star of a beer vlog coming soon.
So in addition to the usual of a porter and also an IPA, all of these recommendations I asked Gabe, the bartender, to help me with because there were so many interesting choices. We have here something called Anna, which is Matuka dry hopped Anna. Anna was Edward's sister. Anna, who lived from 1902 to 1993, was Edward's sister. Hill Farmstead Brewery rests upon the land that was once owned home to her and her 13 siblings. In her honor, this farmstead ale was dry hopped with Matuka. So I guess they have a lot of the names of their beers are the names of brothers and sisters who lived here. 14 brothers and sisters lived here on this farm, and a bunch of beers are named after them.
That's like a Brady Bunch and a Partridge Family lived here all together.
Yes. Then we have something called Works of Love Omnipolo, a collaborative beer brewed from Sweden's Omnipolo brewery. So this is a beer that was brewed with the help of a Swedish brewery. So this might be our first truly international tasting.
Did you say a hot Swedish babe brewed this beer?
It is aged on lees, whatever that is, for 9 months and conditioned on wild Maine blueberries and vanilla beans. Then we have, this one is called Susan, brewed with hops from the American Pacific Northwest and Rewonka hops from New Zealand. It's a nice golden color. It's a little darker than most. And then we have Everett, which is an American porter brewed with American malted barley, English and German roasted malts, and American hops. We're going to try them in order of the menu so I won't get confused. Let's try the Anna. It does have a nice, interesting smell. What am I smelling here? A little bit of a sourness to it, but also kind of flowery. It is a little sour, but it's very refreshing. There's a lightness to it. It's tingly and effervescent and a little sour. But I think it is a wild fermented beer. It's a beautiful light golden color, and it is very interesting tasting.
Dry hopped Anna at Hill Farmstead Brewery.
Super interesting.
Sweetie Weetie, I much enjoyed that. I would say that I am super happy that Anna was dry and hopping when she made this, but I would say that Anna was at her best when she was dry and hopping, and she was hopping with hops. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for your dryness and your hopping.
This is a really nice and interesting aftertaste. I cannot begin to describe it. people will just have to come here.
Bring a Tralfamadorian when you come here. You get a 10% discount.
Take your last little sip because I don't want you to spoil the works of love.
I would never think of contaminating a beer vlog tasting receptacle. I would never do that. Would you think I would ever contaminate a beer vlog's tasting receptacle?
And this is going to be the first beer that we have ever tasted from Sweden.
Sweden, eh?
Yes, yes. Oh, it smells delightful. It smells a little bit like blueberry pie or blueberry gummy bears. It is not what I expected it to taste like. Let me try it again. It's not really sour, but it is also not really sweet. You can definitely taste the blueberries. How did they collaborate with Sweden? Did Henok Fenty come here? The base recipe is from Henok Fenty in Sweden at Omnipolo. Then they used that recipe and put the main blueberries in it. I don't know.
Sweety will insert a PowerPoint slideshow properly presenting with world maps and statistics from the Swedish government.
Don't make me laugh and spit this out because it probably stains. It's very deeply blueberry. It's good. Don't wait till I finish to try it because I'm sipping it.
What's it called?
Works of Love.
Works of Love from Sweden?
Yes.
Works of Love. A Swedish beer from Hillstead Farm Brewery.
A collab. A Swedish collaboration.
What's it called?
Are you honestly telling me that you forgot already? It's right up your alley. Works of Love.
Works of Love.
Have you forgotten all your sense of love?
Works of Love, a Swedish beer from Hill Farmstead Brewery in Vermont. Works of Love. I most enjoyed that Works of Love. It makes me think that I need to study a lot more about how the Swedish love. Sweetie?
Yeah.
I have loved you very much in the past 19 years, but now...
Off and on.
Now I love you with just a little extra Swede in me.
Well, I'm curious about the name of this brewery, Omnipolo Brewery, because I think in Italian that would mean every chicken.
There we have it.
It's super interesting. Like, it looks like a red wine. It's a little fruity, but not sweet or sour. They'll just have to try it. They will just have to come here and try it.
Don't forget, when you come to Vermont, to come here and bring a Tralfamadorian for possibly a 10% discount.
Now the IPA, which is called Susan. It's kind of hazy. It's very deeply golden for an IPA. Yeah, I had a long conversation with Gabe about IPAs.
Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah. He was saying, well, Edward is their flagship, but it's not really an IPA. It's a pale ale, but not an IPA. And then I was like, well, which of the IPAs would you recommend? And he said Harlan and Susan. And I said, well, which one's are least bitter? And he said Ruwaka and Susan. And I said, well, I'm going to get Susan because it's the one you recommended that is the least bitter. So it was a Venn diagram, as he pointed out, of my choice of Susan.
Gabe is not only a great barkeep, he is also a great mathematician who can do the diagrams of Venn.
Smells like an IPA, but it also smells something, there's something else to it. It's very fruity. It's not bitter. There's something complex to it. Like, it has a finish that is not bitter at all, but also the sweetness is like damped down at the end, but not into a bitterness. It doesn't like turn into a bitterness, but it sort of changes in the aftertaste. It's very good. I envision spending some money in the gift shop here.
There we have it. She will use Apple Pay and get her 3% cash back.
It's very good. It's delicious. It is a delicious IPA.
Sweetie Weetie, I recall when we watched our beer vlog in a Vermont bed made for lovers.
Oh, that's Virginia.
Sweetie, it's so refreshing that you say that. Susan at Hillstead Brewery in Vermont. Susan. I most enjoyed that. I am so glad that you had Susan join us for a beer vlog 130 something or another. We have a dear, dear artist friend, the legendary Susan Weinreich is here With us in spirit, Susan Weinreich, a dear and personal friend of the late, great Paul Bartell, star of Eating Raoul, and Susan Weinreich. At a party, she stepped on Jack Lemmon's foot and did not know who he was. You heard that story.
No, you told that to some other girlfriend.
Susan, this is to you. Susan
Finally.
W. and Susan Hill Farmstead.
We have Everett. I'm burping from the beer.
Sweety,
Yes.
were you burping from the beer?
Yes, I was.
At least it was burping.
Well, it's early times. So we're going to taste this Everett. Smells delicious. Smells a little toasty, maybe a little chocolatey. I mean, it might smell coffee. Those are the things people tend to throw around when they're talking about porters and stouts.
We're talking about you out there who are just throwing around porters and stouts. We know that you all just all the time willy-nilly throw around porters and stouts. But we're trying to tell you as professional beer vloggers that we are very, very careful and calculate before we throw around any.
No, I'm talking about the terms that people throw around. Oh, it's very nice. It's not too effervescent, which is generally true about porters and stouts. This is very delicious. Yeah, that was it. I'm not going to chug it like you, so you're going to have to chug it while I'm sipping. This is so drinkable. I'm definitely buying some of this.
Everett at Hill Farmstead Brewery in Vermont. Everett.
Oh, wait. Did you break that? Yes. Wait. Did you break that? Yes, you did.
I have spent many a day inhaling as a youth Led Zeppelin concert, pot smoke, wafting up into the ceiling of a Madison Square Garden skybox.